Oh, hey Joel, how are you today?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. It's the last Friday of the week, so it's all good.
The last
Now,
Friday of the week.
yeah, it's the last Friday of the
I like that.
week. So, what is it that you do, and why do you do it?
I am a frontman in a band, singer. I have no idea why I do it. But I love music. I love performing ever since a young age. So, luckily, been able to kind of make a career from that, and from that branch into other business ventures.
Now, I love about your story is that uh, you we could call it sort of nepotism. You know, you were brought up with a family of entertainers. You know,
Yeah.
that is, let's call it the family business. Um,
Yeah.
how how much do you think that really affected your choice, and was there any pressure from any of your family to go down the entertainment route, or the opposite? Was it, did you find no, you shouldn't go down it?
I it's weird with like pressure because as I guess as parents, like you want your kids to do certain things or not certain things. I mean, I don't have any children, so I'm not entirely sure. But when growing up, like I guess you want to like be like your parents a little bit, don't you? When you want to like kind of copy the things that they do. So again, music was always around the house and things like growing up. And my dad was a musician and he played all the time and he was right-handed and I'm actually left-handed, but I'd always like pick the guitars up when I'm like 2, 3 years old and things and be really interested. So my dad was like, great, he's interested. So and then from that it was very much just kind of keeping me on it. And then as soon as I was about 12, 13 years old, started secondary school and bit of a loner kind of thing, not really knowing what to do, not many friends, and it was like, oh well, there's a guitar and there's a piano here, so kind of went from there, and my love kind of grew, and then found another couple of weirdos to join a band, and then here we are. So that's basically it.
I love it, living the dream as a musician. And you said that you and I also sort of concur, by the way. I'm also from the family business. Always surrounded by marketing all the time. It was my way of doing pocket money all the time, and it was never something. It was always something I asked to do. It was
Yeah.
I learned from early age I could make money, and I didn't have to do a paper round. That was kind of the track
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it. And it's like, what? I get to make pretty pictures because my dad needed sort of graphics, and I was like, what? I get to make these pretty pictures and I get some money for it?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, literally, that was when I first got paid for the gig, and they offered me. I can't remember what it was. It was about £40 or £50, and I was, you're going to pay me to play
What?
songs. You're gonna, and I couldn't believe it. I've got this. This is like a quick story. And this is the point. This gig, I was growing up in a place called Lichfield, I wasn't getting much work at the time. Much money. We didn't get many gigs and things like that. And there was a place in Lichfield. They only paid I was playing paid me like £60 or something. But I never really got the gig and I wasn't gigging much. But my mom, she used to phone the venue uh, and be like, oh, there was a singer in last week. He was really good. When will he be back? And then the guy on the phone would be like, oh, give me 5 minutes, I'll call you back. Then he'd put the phone down, and then my phone would ring, and it'd be the guy giving me a gig for the night because my mom would phone. So like I was, it was just some of the stuff like early days. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
that
that's
is that is hilarious.
yeah. So my mom used to ring to try and like get me gigs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay, so it's safe to say you've got super supportive parents.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they won't let me fail.
No, but that's the point of when you do have that supportive crew around you, that support system around you, and they can
Mm.
see that you're driving for something. Just have those little things. Like, it takes 2 minutes to have a phone call, but the
Yeah,
savviness of your mum being like, "Oh, yeah, it was really good last night."
yeah, yeah, exactly. And he's like, come back, come back. But yeah, so funny.
But a big fan. And you mentioned that you branched out now sort of over the last year. Do you want to just go into a bit more detail on which direction you've gone?
Yeah, so the thing kind of hit me. It was last week. So I've always been the only way that I've been able to like financially benefit or make any money is being really stood on a stage, performing and playing. So
Mm.
it was a situation where last year I was away with my agent and we were in Mallorca, funny enough, and he was sat there and organising gigs and putting people in venues and being able to still make like passive money, like to a degree, and sort things out. So I was like, I'd want a bit of that. So that was initially where that kind of stemmed from. It's like, okay, well, there's an idea here where we get asked loads of times, like our band, and we get asked for loads of things that we can't necessarily fill. So it's kind of stemmed from there, but it's kind of grown into like we've got like a media section where we're filming people for like videos, show reels, like TikTok content, Instagram content, and stuff. Like super busy with photo shoots, and then also we've got deals with like some venues. We've just taken on like a regular venue in like Manchester last week, like every Friday and Saturday for gigs. Other venues locally, and then there's just loads of different things that have kind of come at us because of the artists we're kind of working with and stuff. And like Chris is obviously, Chris Horrocks, which is one of like our favorite people. And he's again, just though we kind of found him through that and things, and we've just been kind of like growing this out over the last few months. But it's been a different kind of challenge because instead of just setting it up as like a sole trader or something, it's been like set up as a limited company. So it's been a few different trials and tribulations and a few different hoops to jump through and things, and trying to, I guess, set something up for the future that's kind of like just bigger than just like what the band is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You're now on the road of like trying to set up something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
Now you really are in the thick of it. I like because there is something I will say after there's something about having done it for a few years. As you would have very naturally done it as a sole trader, setting up your band. The first few years were a bit more muddled, but once you and now
Yeah.
you're just repeating that journey again, but on a sort of almost a different vision, a different scale. So what has been the best and worst things about coming up by taking on these new challenges?
The so one of the best things is basically the drummer. He's called Darius Franklin. He's the business partner in this. So we're both like 50-50, and we're both like best friends, and we
Yeah.
practically like live with each other. But it's really
He's
cool.
drumming the beat to the
Yeah,
drive.
but it's really cool that we've also managed to bring another couple of our like friends on board and working with the company as well, which is really like great. It's like I get to like these are my best friends. We're just hanging out,
Really?
and we're making videos or music for people, and we're getting people gigs, and it's genuinely like trying to be like good positive things. We're all just like hanging out together, so it's that's definitely one of the benefits. But one of the biggest, I guess, hurdles is the amount of kind of like admin and small jobs of like we've built the website. We speak to we answer every single email. We really like are hands on with every single thing. Just before we had this, I had like 2 phone calls with a couple of artists, and then we've been trying to put out some adverts for this thing. So it's like, it's like you wake up and there's, what it's like, you get 20-30 things to do, and then you have like a work day, and then you go and play a gig and have like another work day. So,
Yeah.
but it's quite like intense and full on. But I think when it's your own thing and your own kind of baby, like you're more incentivized to do it, and you don't mind doing it because you know that it's directly going to benefit yourself, so you're going to have that gratification.
And it really sounds like you just you absolutely love it.
Yeah.
like you said, this sounds far more like play than
That's
hard work.
yeah.
I always like to draw parallels from sport, from music into the world of business. So my background is, well, the reason why Chris and me are long friends is because I am into music. I love playing and listening to music, but I am so far not a musician. I am far more the sportsman and live in the sports world. But
Nice.
the parallels I always say is learning to be the best at sport and learning to be the best as a musician. It takes so much consistently grafting away at the little things and that slowly progressing each and every single little day.
Yeah.
And in order to become what people perceive as something hard, is make it look so simple, look so easy. Oh, am I back?
I think the Florida internet lost you then. You got me?
Yeah. Is it?
Go back 10 seconds.
Okay, we're back. Okay, I've marked it.
Yeah, cool. Parallels between...
yeah, it's going to be a weird cut, but never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love doing the parallels between music and sport because trying to do something every single day and that consistently working hard at it and chipping away at it, you're able to do very hard things but make them look so easy and look so simple. And business is just the same, and it's a skill to be able to do that element of business. It is a skill, and you've been honing that for years. So when you're then coming up against challenges where you've got 30 different tasks a day or minimum, and you've got to get them done because you're still in that infancy stage, and then you've got to go and do a whole job on top of that. It's
lost you again a little bit. Only for like a few seconds. Go on.
What's happening? Is it my screen going, or is it going?
It's just freezing. It's just freezing for about 5 seconds. Yeah,
no, be fine. So it's recording from my side, so it'll come through absolutely crystal clear.
Sorry about that.
No, it's good. Don't worry about it. I usually warn people at the start. Okay. And then I've got amazing editing tools, so it'll cut all that out.
Go that bit again, though, because I want to hear it as well.
What was I saying? Oh, okay, yeah. So so you can take on every day, can't you?
30 different tasks. You hone the skills.
So yeah, because you've learned that skill, it means it doesn't sound like it's even phasing you because you're just going in and you're attacking it. Whereas what can happen is almost this paralysis effect, because it can feel so overwhelming, it can feel so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's very easy to look at the big long list and go, I'm not going to do this today. I'm not going to start. But, you can see the vision, which is maybe a year away, 10 years away, and you see all of these obstacles and hurdles that's stopping you, and you almost go, nope, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But it's great to hear that because you have learned this skill, and it is a skill, you've just gone deep dive into it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about the days where you just look and you just think, yeah, not today. But that's the beauty of having your own business and your own thing, because sometimes you can do that. You can just be like, but I try and do as much as I just try and think, just try your best. What's the worst that can happen if you try your best?
I love it. I agree. Basically, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Yeah. It's really, really interesting what you just said there is some days you do hit a day and you go, no, not today. How do you draw that line in the sand?
I guess it can sometimes depend on what else I might have going on. So if I have something else like important going on, my girlfriend or parents or something's happening, then I'll try sometimes and feel like, oh yeah, there needs to just be sometimes like a point for sanity, but I genuinely do where I get my buzz from, especially with setting up this company, and it's something that's new and exciting. And if you've if you've been a musician, you play loads of stages, and you've done stuff like that, like you've had, it's been pretty good fun so far. But there's something like this is like totally new and different, like a new set of challenges, and like you say, it's bigger than you. So it's like there's no roof, there's no ceiling. It's just like ideas and just run with it and just see what happens. So like that's really exciting. So yes, and that just keeps me. And also, like I say, when you're working again, like with a business partner, and you're constantly between each other. Have you've done this, you've done that. We're up to here, we've done that. Okay, I've just done this. It's like you've got responsibility as well. So it's not just on yourself. It's like, okay, I've got responsibility to like other people and other things, and there's other people counting on me. So so it kind of makes you want to step up as well.
100%. And it's one of the questions I love to ask, because I'll still profess it's one of the things I still struggle with. I just I have this on button that doesn't switch off. It's like that switch is a bit faulty, because every time I'm always on and that off button doesn't quite switch
Doesn't
off.
exist. Yeah.
It doesn't exist. But I know it's something I've again tried to work at, and I love to hear different strategies around it. And it's actually my nutrition coach who brought it far more to my attention, and he was like, right, we're going to make sure we've got some good habits in place. It's like, have you had your 8 hours? Have you had your 8 hours today? How is your mental health feeling today? And you can almost give me a little bit of a checklist to sort of almost give me some KPIs for my body to say, I think you've overdone it now. You need to just scale back for a couple of days, so then you can go and hit it hard next week. And it really what the way that brought my attention to sort of prioritizing a bit more is the art of business is just being able to survive another day. Really, like, so when we say we're just going to try our best, well, as long as trying our best means we get to survive for tomorrow, and then tomorrow we get to survive the day after that. That's all that matters here, That's all that really matters. And then, like you said, you get to do something you absolutely love, you enjoy, you're doing something bigger. Now, having with this sort of new business and working with new people, what's it like being having to engage with all of these different artists venues?
Well, it's like I say, it's definitely come with a few challenges, because we before, when we had, because we've got like a studio, like a video room that we shoot everything in, an outdoor, indoor, and then a studio and everything else. So we've got a really great facilities. And sometimes the challenges are that even though everyone's been amazing, sometimes people turn up and they've never really recorded in the studio before, or never recorded with like a metronome, like a click. So you have people like, those certain challenges, or a video, they've never really been videoed properly before or had that situation. So sometimes it can be a little bit awkward. So it's your job to kind of obviously try and like relax people, but you've only met these people within a few hours, and you want them to stand there and, you know what I mean? So it's in the middle of a field and just be like, yeah, we're all friends here. So but so that's sometimes a little bit of necessarily a challenge, but something that's always good as well, because everyone's always like loved it, enjoyed it, and like at the end been like, oh, it was so much fun, it was great, and always enjoyed the results back. And then they've gone off and been able to get other. I don't even. It's a good question, really, because what are some of the challenges? I mean, constant emails are a challenge, I find, for me. So a lot of, if we're booked to play a wedding, we have to go back and forward between a bride, a number of times, or an agent and things like that. And that's per gig. And if you're doing 4 or 5 gigs a week, it's soon, which, we probably, we do about that. So it's a lot of admin. So
and is something on the admin side that you would ever consider delegating?
Yeah, that's something that we're really, really looking at doing, and with the company as well, is kind of um, having someone that can just deal with that and organising it and keeping that on top of things, because we've got, like I say, venues with that have regular entertainment like every Friday and Saturday, or some of them are ad hoc, and we've got like a system, but it's kind of outgrowing our system that we have in place. So I'm kind of stressing a bit of going, okay, how like to Daz, I'm like, how how are we actually going to fix this? Because we're trying to do a lot of things at the moment, but we need to make sure, the wheels don't come off. They're not at the moment, but it's like one's getting a little loose.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I always call it like the duct tape is falling off.
yeah.
You know?
So, but luckily, like I say, we've got great support around us. We know so many great people that have always helped, and as things are going now, touch wood, it's going like okay, it's going pretty well. So,
From the sounds of it, it sounds like it's doing
mm,
brilliantly, and I love that you have brought that up. You've had one system at the
mm,
moment, and it has been working. You have been
mm,
growing. People are having positive
yeah,
effects from having worked with you, and you're recognizing that if you want to go to that next level, you want to hit that new number, you want to do more gigs, you want to have just that more operations
yeah,
capacity, basically, you're gonna have to need a new
mm,
system and almost paint what that vision looks like. Because as soon as you hit that new goal, you're gonna then need a new system on top of that, and a new system on top
yeah,
of that,
sure,
and you're now starting the journey of, oh, I think I've figured this all out, and then something, like I said, the wheel
yeah,
one wheel comes off. Oh, where did that go?
yeah, literally, yeah. So, bit of duct tape and stuff, but it's all
Yeah.
good.
No, I'm very very excited for you, because it is a lot of fun in there. Not when you're in it, I would say. On
Yeah.
reflection, you go, oh, that was good times. Um, so with the business as well, what is the vision? Where is it? Where do you want it to go in the 10 years?
So, are we talking
Five. Five.
the vision, as in for like what the business will end up as, like where it would be?
Yeah, because there'll never be there's never an end game in
True,
business, but
you just move your site to something else. So
yeah, that goalpost just
yeah,
goes
you got to,
moves.
yeah, but you got to have a purpose, because if you just stop, then it's like, what are you going to do then?
Yeah,
You've got to have
exactly. So yeah,
something. So for us, well, we planned with it 5 years to hopefully have. It sounds crazy, but we want like our own like wedding venue as well. But would also be a like a media center, so that people would be able to come to like do videos, photos, and stuff like that in like off in some in one part, and then we'd have like a really nice big barn where, because the wedding industry is quite a, from a business point of view, it's quite a lucrative industry. We play in that, so we'd like to have a nice big wedding barn, and then we'd like to have a studio and things like that. So have like a Luna HQ, bigger than the one we've got now, like better than the one we've got now, bigger than the one we've got now, and being able to help venues, artists, ourselves to be playing still, hopefully. And I guess just trying to, when like I was younger, like your early 20s kind of thing, I got with some agencies and stuff like that, but they weren't that great. They didn't pay that well. They didn't really look after the artists as much. They didn't really tell people how to do it and what the best way is, kind of thing. So we'd like to just try and develop people in, if they want a career in music, because the kind of thing is like, when you're younger, oh, if you're a musician, people think, oh, you're going to be a rock star. Oh, that's not going to work. Like I got told at school, you're not going to be a musician. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. What are you talking about? And it's like, no. I said, no, I am. Like this is what I'm going to do. Uh, and then luckily, like I said, I had supportive parents, especially my dad, that like, was okay with that. Luckily, but it would be nice for young uh, younger artists as well, that we could like bring on, develop, do some videos, some recordings, and get them everything like a really, really good quality, and then help push them on and kind of like have this roster of like great artists that would go, that they'd make a great living, and then they'd help us and have that kind of family feel to a business, rather than just a case of like with some gigs you get an email through, an agent's ripping you off, you're not getting that much money, and it's not that great.
Yeah.
So just to try and look after people, just be nice to people as well, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. If you entered a industry, there's so much we could dig in here. Like if you entered an industry that is very, very transactional and price driven, this is kind of what other people would know it as. You almost feel like you have to lower your prices all the time, or you constantly have to negotiate all the time, and the conversations, because it's so dehumanized, it really takes a lot of the fun out of it. It demoralizes of it, and also what we're saying is it devalues it. And I love what you're doing is you're putting the human back into the process.
Right,
so yes, you've humanized you're humanizing the industry again, and I love that you're taking the people are just sort of starting out and educating them, go, no, like this is how it's done, this is how it's done properly, and this is how you can almost charge more, because you're going to value the product, you're going to do a better quality because you want to work harder, you want to be better for it, and something I absolutely I just think I absolutely love. Now
I was going to say something then, but I was just saying more and more this day and age, with everything's online, like we know that, but I do think that human kind of connection, even like in the phone call, and we always speak on the phone to people, anyone interested or anything, and we rather than just having everything just like on emails and a little bit kind of like, I don't know, impersonal. It's always nice to get people round, meet them, and with musicians, everyone's always a creative person, so it's usually like that kind of person usually reacts well to that and creating that atmosphere. So I think it's just quite important for us as general human beings to have human contact as well.
I will absolutely look forward to my invite for your 2025 Christmas party, because I bet you and guys will have the best Christmas party.
You are on. You and Chris are 100%. Promise you now. It'll be this Christmas, not next Christmas. This Christmas.
Oh, my brain. I think it's because we're sort of it's August. My brain's like, I don't want to talk about Christmas.
I'm a summer baby, so I have no interest in the cold. No interest. So.
Amazing. Now, what is sort of the final question? What is there anything that somebody could buy from you today or get from you today that is under £100 that would add a ton of value to their lives?
Oh, what a great question. So something they could buy from me that like my business sells.
And it can be generally anything and everything. If it can literally be free, it can be a few pounds, it could be just anything that for instance, a lot of people will be listening to this podcast and we're getting a few tidbits of ideas and inspiration, and that is super valuable. Just anything that really enriches their lives, that when we live in a world where
anything, not just from my business, anything at all.
Anything at all.
Right. Okay, that's quite. What would you say?
So nobody's actually asked me that. So we actually have a whole ton of free workshops that people can engage with and learn about any aspect of marketing, and it's on the Vision to Success website, which is where the podcast you can listen to all of the podcast episodes as well.
See, that's actually really good. I can't beat that. I can't. How'd you follow that? I can't follow that. I was just going to say, like, I don't know, like an electric toothbrush. I can't. No, you really put me on the spot here because what can you buy that's under £100 that could enrich your life? A gym membership?
Well, so I would say you is I know because I've obviously been following your stuff for a little while now.
Yeah.
You're always putting out music. You're always putting out content. You're always putting out ideas. Again, it's just that look. Well, it's law of attraction. If somebody is interested in getting into the music space, they're interested in setting up their own business. They're interested, they can follow you on Instagram, and it can be as simple as that.
We've got the band, me, or the company. So the company's We Are Lunar Events, the band's Lunar Fall Band, and then I am Joel Darks. I think that's it.
Perfect. Well, on that note, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. It's been super interesting.
Thank you so much for having me, Charlie. I think I've lost you a couple of times just then, but thank you.
No, don't worry. Welcome to the world of editing.
Yeah.
We'll be all good. And thank you so much for coming on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. Cheers.